Good morning, multiverse. Hey there, friends and foes. This is Back of the Cereal Box, the pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while surviving adulthood today. And this morning, we've got Drew Milden with us, Willow Schuyler, Sarah Jenkins, and we are going to talk about the top movies of 2022. It's part of that surviving adulthood today part. And we are going to do that right after this awesome intro from our friends, the Murdering Crows.
Hits like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson and Mickey Mouse. The first star was James Dean. Elvis Presley, yeah, he's still the king. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original. Oh, you can't beat an original.
Thank you, Murdering Crows, for that awesome theme song. You can get their record, For Bad Crows, at Amazon, Google, Apple Music. Just look for the Murdering Crows. And of course, this episode is brought to you by Tales of the Decoverse by yours truly, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or wherever you get books. Well, in case you haven't noticed, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And we are in the throes of Pyka Palooza. This is day 10 here on Back of the Cereal Box. And we are a pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturday mornings of our youth while surviving adulthood today. So you're going to get a healthy dose of nostalgia and at the same time, a lot of our views on contemporary pop culture. And when I was a kid, Saturday mornings meant cartoons, comic books, kaiju, kung fu movies, and we didn't have smartphones or tablets at the breakfast table on Saturday morning. We were reading the back of the cereal box in between cartoons, kaiju, comic books, and kung fu movies. And that's what this show is about, the pop culture from the back of the cereal box. And to help me on this journey with you, to take you on this hero's journey of nostalgia and contemporary survival. Ooh, I like that line. Journey of nostalgia and contemporary survival. Author Sarah Jenkins, the host of Coffee and Words. Isn't that a great byline? The
That's
journey
fantastic.
of nostalgia and contemporary survival.
I love it. You should have it copyrighted, like right now. Just get somebody on the phone. Who deals with that?
Hey, get my lawyer on the phone.
Yeah.
Also, welcome into the studio, our regular co-host, the Peppermint Princess, the social media socialite, your favorite emotional support Canadian, all the way from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the one, the only, Willow Schuyler.
Good morning.
Willow, what is more fun to say, Winnipeg or Manitoba? I want to say Manitoba. That's a fun word to say.
Depends on your mood. You could get really fancy with Winnipeg. Say it really fast. It's excited. Or Manitoba, if you really want to, I don't know.
And then you come here and get really disappointed.
Well, no, I've seen your pictures from Winnipeg, Manitoba. It seems like a festive, fun town.
We have, okay, so there are some really cool things about my city that I absolutely love. Like I honestly still feel like I'm a tourist in my own city. I love looking at the architectures. Like the old buildings are beautiful, not so much the newer modern buildings, but and I live in a part of town that my house is over 100 years old, so I get to see all the cool houses that were built when Winnipeg was in its prime.
I love it. I love it. So we also have a very special co-host in the rec room with us this morning. He is the host of Drew versus the World. Please welcome in Drew Milden. The crowd goes wild.
But Johnny said he needed something done. Copywritten? Okay. I got it for you, Johnny.
Good morning, Mr. Milden. Ooh,
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Johnny.
That
Good
would
morning,
be
Willow.
a great
Good
name
morning,
for a
Sarah.
podcast. Good morning, Mr. Milden.
Ooh. Oh, I like that.
Spinoff coming soon.
All right.
like
Can I
that.
be
I
your
like
first
that.
guest?
Boy, tell I need a copyright, Mr. Milden podcast. Okay.
So,
Rebrand.
so everybody, one of the things that we do on the show, first of all, for those of you in the audience, you get to be our fifth co-host by joining the chat. And this morning you're going to want to, because we're going to be counting down the top 20 movies of 2022. And these are not necessarily our favorite movies. We're going to sprinkle in our favorite movies, and we're going to decide by the end of the hour which is the best movie of 2022. Now, not everyone on the panel has seen every movie we're going to be talking about, but that's okay. And we might name a winner that is the best that isn't even on the top 20 list because it's our favorite. So those of you who are in the audience, you can join in and contribute. Now, we are back at the cereal box because we celebrate the fun of the Saturday morning. And this morning, Willow, I took my cue from you from last week. I went out and I got some Christmas Crunch from Captain Crunch. And that's what I'm going to be munching on this morning.
But the box looks so much better than the one that I have.
Well, I think you had last year's edition.
Oh, maybe.
Was it a year old, Willow? Are you okay?
Segway better not have screwed me over on that one.
So here's the good thing about American cereal brands. First of all, to begin with, the packaging, the plastic bag that they put inside the box with the cereal, it is sealed so tightly you could store nuclear waste in it. There's no way any contamination is getting through that plastic shield. But also, there are enough preservatives in here to embalm a body.
That
would explain why I don't age.
Embalmed body crunch. It's.
Ooh. You know what? Hey, Quaker Oats. Quaker on the phone. For Halloween, embalmed body crunch. Oh, we broke Drew.
Oh, no. Well, he ran out to buy some. He'll be back in a minute.
The back of the box is fantastic. It's got this sweater matching game. So you got to match 3 sweaters.
Yeah, I'm bringing you right and center there, bud.
Thank you. So I see 1 match already. Do I see 3? I guess the ones on the rack count. Yeah? Maybe? Oh, wait. Okay. 1, 2. We're just doing pairs. Okay. So there's 1 pair. There's 2 pairs. And then what's the other one? Snowflake, you said?
Well, you got that one.
I'm missing. Oh, wait. There's a pair. Yeah. Okay, I won the game. Anyway, I love Captain Crunch. It's going to be delicious. So we're going to sprinkle our cereal taste testing and Will It cereal and New Loot through our conversation about new movies and the best of 2022. So I'm starting with Captain Crunch. Willow, what do you got this morning?
Well, I mixed my Christmas Crunch with the Crunch Berries cereal, and I'm gonna have to say it tastes awesome. So,
Willow, are you satisfied with that?
I am very satisfied.
As long as Willow is satisfied. Drew, what do you got?
Nothing.
He's got something for later on. Sarah, you got anything in your bowl this morning?
Yeah, so I've got I brought the bag this time so we could show it. So this is what I had last week, but last week I put other stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Really great brand. Okay. And so I've got that, but I added marshmallows. Okay. And I'm back with the eggnog. And I just want to say it is very difficult to get organic eggnog. You have to get it at the beginning of the season. It sells out. It doesn't come back in until the next year. So I have organic eggnog. Yeah. And we're going to do that again because it was so good last week. It was all Christmassy. There we go.
Sarah, I was inspired by you last week.
Aww.
And you know, they make you've had the little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so they made a little Debbie Christmas tree cake ice cream, which is phenomenal. It's a huge hit in our house. You can only get it in the not even the quart, half quart size or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we've gotten 2 or 3 of them and gone. But I decided to see. I tried something inspired by you. I crumbled up some Christmas tree cakes, and I put melted whipped cream in it.
Oh,
That sounds good.
Yeah. Those Christmas tree cakes were a staple every year in my childhood. We always got them at the Christmas season. That and the white fudge Oreos.
Yeah, they're evil. They're evil.
They're fantastic.
We have some comments. And Chris Vaglio is saying, "What's up, everyone? Good morning." Chris Vaglio is the host of the Chris and Amanda Show, one of the best podcasts on the net. And you definitely need to check that out. Now, are you ready, Drew? You're ready to go? Drew's got a very special. Wait. Hold on. I gotta bring this up. He's got something very special for us. Where is it? Where'd it go? I'm really upset. Somebody has moved all of my show cards around.
Oh no.
Willow.
That not me. Do not blame me.
An angry elf.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to add this in post, Drew.
Okay.
But we are going to ask Drew Milden, will it cereal? And Drew, what do you got for us this morning?
Live from WFH Studios, Work From Home Studios. Today we have Will It Cereal with my favorite candy.
Oh,
Pieces. So this is one of my favorite candies in the world. So what I got a little
top
bowl
5,
here.
easy. Top 5.
And I got some almond milk from Trader Joe's. I don't know why I'm using almond milk on this. And I have no spoon, everyone. So I'll be eating this with my hands.
Oh,
Whoops.
that's fantastic. Drew the Barbarian. Ooh, there's another
I've been
spin-off
called
show.
worse. It's cereals.
I
Definitely
can't imagine that it won it. I mean,
Oh,
Reese's Pieces is one of the best candies ever made.
absolutely.
Is anyone old enough to remember how and when Reese's Pieces debuted? Don't answer. We'll let our audience answer. Our audience may have some answers. Now, Sandra Noel is commenting, and she says, cereal is on hold while I stay in breakfast sandwich heaven with bags of Portuguese rolls I smuggled back down. She spent a week or maybe more in Connecticut and New York, visited New York City, and brought back some Portuguese rolls. And yeah, if you don't follow Sandra Noel on social media, you really need to. She posted some fantastic pictures, and I'm really jealous. She smuggled them back down from Connecticut because you can't get Portuguese rolls in Tennessee. And I've never had Portuguese rolls. Has anybody? Drew, have you? What is a Portuguese roll?
Well, I can't remember I've had it before, but I can't remember it. But in New York, I used to get weird stuff to eat all the time on the corners. Uh, but Portuguese rolls, I used to have a lot of lox and cream cheese. But yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me do some research and I'll get back to you, Johnny.
Okay. She went to the Pez factory too. What? The Pez factory. Now, does everyone who work in the Pez factory, do their heads open up at their neck? Because that would be freaky, but kind of cool. Oh, how freaky would that be, Sarah? If
your neck would have to open up. You'd be like,
if everyone at the Pez factory, their head was on and they opened up, a candy shot out, but the Pez factory was also Christmas themed, and you had Christmas themed Pez people walking around.
That sounds like a good horror movie for 2023.
I think so too. Now, she said she posted pics. I did not see pics from the Pez factory, so easy for you say. So I'm going to go back and look for the pics from the Pez factory. That will be fantastic. That will be awesome. And
like someone I'll have to add later onto my friends list.
Yes, you must. Sandra is one of our super friends, and she often shows up at the live events in Dixon and Fairview when we're together in one place. Coming again soon. So let's talk movies, guys.
Yes.
And this is part of our surviving adulthood today. So I love movies. One of my fondest memories as a kid was getting on my bike Saturday afternoon after the cartoons, after the cereal, after comic books. We would ride down to the mall to go to the movie theater. And don't tell anybody, but sometimes we would buy only one ticket and see 3 movies.
See, I would get the ticket I could get, and then I would sneak into the R-rated movies. That's what you did.
I never thought about doing that.
It's a little rebel.
That was kind of
Sarah,
that was like my childhood, just sneaking into R-rated movies with like going to watch like Aladdin or something like that. But we were in New York. They were just kids running around the neighborhoods. There was lawlessness. There was nobody caring about anybody. It was lawless.
Wait a minute. Wait, you were in Brooklyn.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't able to do that in the small town that I lived in because there was one theater.
One movie playing. Hey, there's only one movie playing. It was called Stare at the Sun.
And by the time we got it, it was already on DVD.
Oh, that's funny.
Or VHS.
Well, there's something kind of special about that, though, Willow. Because when I was growing up, we had 4 theaters. On one side of town. The other side of town, there was one. It was a giant complex with this huge balcony and beautiful movie palace that they've now turned into a CVS drugstore, but I'm not bitter. But today, it's still one of my favorite activities. As a matter of fact, today, I might be going to see Violent Night this afternoon for a Saturday matinee. I've not seen it yet. Everybody is saying it is the best Christmas movie ever. Have you seen it, Drew?
I haven't seen it yet, but that's on my short list to do on my day off next week.
Yeah,
very short list.
Do you guys know about this movie, Violent Night?
Sorry about that.
If I'm correct, that's the movie that was actually filmed in Winnipeg. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It may be. David Harbour plays the real Santa Claus, who finds himself attacked or defending or fighting against criminals, terrorists, a gang. I don't know, but it looks pretty. Okay, so Sandra Noel said she saw it in Connecticut on vacation on Friday opening, and it was so good. People that I trust have said it's the best Christmas movie they've ever seen.
It's like
So-
it's supposed to be like Home Alone meets
Die
that
Hard.
new cool. Yes, there you go. Exactly.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but with the real Santa Claus. So, all right. So we're going to talk about yes, and I asked you earlier, Sarah. See, Sandra's popping up in the comments. I've got Sandra on my mind. Sandra, hello. So Sarah, I asked you earlier, what was your favorite version of Santa?
I have two.
Okay.
Okay, so of an older one, like a more classic one from back in the day. Remember the Coca-Cola Santa?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I love that one because it's a memory from childhood. And then a newer one would be Kurt Russell.
Christmas Chronicles.
Yes.
Fantastic. He is Santa.
Yeah. I love that version of Santa. And I vacillate between him and the version of Santa from Rise of the Guardians with the tattoo. He's got naughty and nice, and he has the swords.
Nice.
Have you guys not seen Rise of the Guardians?
I have. I like the Klaus version. Klaus
Okay.
version. From
Yeah.
Or the Year Without a Santa Claus version. It's just classic.
Yeah. Fantastic. Willow, what about you? Your favorite version of Santa?
I love the Coca-Cola version of him. Nice and classic. And I always go back to like the Norwegian where his origin comes from.
Okay.
I love the coat and the design on the coat.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, so for Christmas this year, we're talking about movies, and I'm going to start at the top of the list, and we're going to move down. And if you've not seen these, that's great. Those of you who are in the audience, please comment and pick your favorite. So the top movie of 2021 or 2022. Man, I had a time skip there. I lost a year. 2022. I don't think this is going to surprise anyone, but I know, Sarah, you did not like this movie, and that is Top Gun Maverick. It was the number one box. You didn't like it either, Drew?
We're kindred
No,
spirits, Drew.
I
This is
hate
why
it.
it was awful.
I hate plane movies, but that's just me. Maybe just a whole like, oh, we're up in a plane is not interesting to me. Sorry.
Well, now here's the thing about Top Gun Maverick. It was the sequel everyone wanted to see. Did you see it, Willow?
Yes, I did.
And did you like it?
It was good. It was good. I liked it. Yeah.
I thought it was better than the original Top Gun, which I hated the original Top Gun.
I can't be on your show anymore. Santa and I have to go.
But see, this is funny. I went into this movie not excited about it, but I enjoyed it more than the original, and I thought it was a perfect sequel, the sequel that everyone really wanted. And you disagree, Sarah. What did you not like about it?
I thought they tried too hard. I thought there were not enough like tiebacks to the original. Yeah, they threw in a couple of things here and there, but I really wanted more of the nostalgia from the first film. And it just felt like they just tried too hard. The whole relationship love story was like, where did this come from? We have no background for this. We have no history for this, but yet we're supposed to care about these two characters. Listen, we could talk for an hour about what I did not like about that film. Went and saw it. Actually, my husband and I went out to dinner for our anniversary back in June, and we went and saw it after dinner. So it was, and he fell asleep. So he didn't even finish it. So he slept in the theater while I finished watching it. So
now I usually judge a movie by its rewatchability, how immediately after I see it, I want to see it again.
Right.
And I left that theater thinking, okay, this is a fun movie. This is a good movie. It hit the right nostalgic 80s beats. But I wasn't a fan of the original one, so I wasn't looking for specific moments, right? But I thought it was a great, solid sequel. And the studio, Universal Studios, did something very smart with this movie. They did not give in to into the pressure to release it direct on streaming immediately. They made it a theatrical release exclusive, and they let it stay there. That movie stayed in the box office longer than any other movie in 2022, and the fact that it topped the box office receipts is a testament to that. It just goes to show what I've been screaming for years. Let's focus on quality, not quantity, and let's let a movie percolate a little bit with the audience.
Yeah. And I think that was Tom Cruise's thing about the movie too, was that he didn't want to push it to streaming services right away.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some movies that has really impacted in a negative way. So number 2 on the top 20 was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This surprised me, actually.
Me too. Me as well.
And I think it's just because the timing of when this list was compiled. I think if we rerun it again next week, the results will be very different. But Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, how many saw it? Just me and Drew.
I didn't see many movies this year.
That's okay. That's okay. And I don't know, Chris Vaglio has said that movie was very mid. I don't know if he's talking about Top Gun or Doctor Strange.
I think he could talk about both with that comment, because as I think we discussed, Multiverse of Madness was a middle tier film.
It was in the top of the middle for me. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. There were no surprises. Basically, everything that we expected was going to happen. I mean, real fans who follow the MCU, everything that we expected to happen happened. So, it was good. So, Drew, since we're the only two that have seen Doctor Strange, between Maverick and Doctor Strange 2, which one tops out for you?
I would say Doctor Strange 2.
Okay, I'm going to go with you on that. All right, number 3 on the top 20. And I think this week, this will be at number 2 or maybe surpass the number 1 spot, is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I went into this movie with no expectations, but knowing exactly what was going to happen. Because, again, I am a fan of the source material. I read the comics. I know the history of these characters, so I knew exactly what was going to happen. And what I predicted was exactly what happened. There were no surprises for me in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Anybody else see Black Panther Wakanda Forever? I know you did, Drew.
Yeah. So the only thing I would say I really liked, and this is the test, this is my litmus test to movies. My wife loved this movie, and she hates Marvel movies. She loved this movie. Now, when we're talking about acting, through and through, this movie was amazing from beginning to end as far as acting is concerned. But with this, like you said, Johnny, as far as the source material, it was really like, okay, we understand what's going to happen with Shuri. We understand what's going to happen with Neymar. We understand what's going to happen with, the family and things like that. But the arc that I really enjoyed, that they really pinpointed on, is her trying to balance the truth of who she is with the actual mantle of the Black Panther, because she was angry and she wanted to take that vengeance out, and she had to solve that issue and that problem. So I really like the film as far as its acting and its different style of Marvel movie. It had like almost a DC vibe to it. If you kind of get what I'm coming from, it still was bright and very had a great ambiance, but it was kind of dark, and it was like, wait, this is going to.
It had more emotional depth,
than
a traditional Marvel movie.
Yes,
and that's a testament to the sentiment about Chadwick Boseman's passing. They did not. Spoiler alert. They did not choose to recast the Black Panther. They honored the memory of Chadwick Boseman, but they solved the fan push to recast Black Panther, recast T'Challa, and you'll just have to see the movie and see the final credit scene to understand what I'm talking about. Sarah, you've not seen Wakanda Forever yet?
I have not. But it's on my list. I wrote it down just now to.
It's a good movie. It's a fun movie, and it provided me hours of entertainment before and after the movie, trolling the toxic racists on social media. I had a lot of fun, getting up in the Kool-Aid of people who hated that they made Namor Mesoamerican and that they actually made Shuri the Black Panther. I had a lot of fun, Drew. I got banned from a lot of groups.
Oh, all right.
You know I like to fight, so if that's ever a
listen,
issue, just let me
I
know.
have no
Need
I have
addresses.
no patience and no tolerance for racists, sexist, misogynists, bigots. I have no patience for it. And I will take you on any day of the week. And it's really fun to watch. Anyway, that's an aside.
And I have so much respect for you, Johnny, when you go on those rants, because it's just like,
yeah,
It's a spin-off show.
What's
We need
that?
to have. It's a spin-off show that we can do.
Well, it's been discussed. It's been discussed.
All right.
So, by the way, not only did I have my Captain Crunch cereal, I have the leftover Snickerdoodle from Matheson's in downtown Nashville. You guys, I bought this cookie 2 days ago. It's this big. It was this big. You know what? Will Snickerdoodle cookies cereal?
Probably.
Yes,
Let's find
I
out.
believe it. I'm a believer.
And while I'm preparing that, the next movie, number 4, is Jurassic World Dominion, and this is a movie I did not see. Has anybody else seen this movie?
No.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard so much about it from the 2 people in my house who have seen it. So
Yeah.
I feel like I could talk about it based on their opinions.
Well, so Drew, you saw it?
Of course, I've
No
seen
good?
every Jurassic Park movie ever, twice at least. I love
I think
Jurassic
they
Park.
could have
I love
ended at
dinosaurs.
number 3 back in the 90s.
Thank you. I
with
do
you
love
on
me a
that.
good Chris Pratt. Don't get me. He's a hunk of hunks. Not more than Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is my hunk of hunks. But Chris Pratt is like second. Hey, what you call it? Chris Pratt is just. It's not for him. This is not his. And the problem is that they're not
thought he
focusing
was
on the
great.
Dinosaurs. They're not focusing on the dinosaurs. They're focusing on Chris Pratt's
On
relationship.
the human story.
I'm like, no, dinosaurs. I need somebody getting their head bit off. What happened to that?
Yes, the T-Rex Championship.
Yes. Remember that one Jurassic Park where they had the super dinosaur versus the T-Rex? I was like, that's every kid's dream.
Yeah.
Like they have not done that along the new series of Jurassic Park movies. I love Jurassic Park. They sell it.
I was surprised that it came in at number 4 because of all of the hate that I have seen for it. And look, I didn't go see it because as much as I love big stompy monsters and as much as I love dinosaurs, I mean, as a kid, I had all of those plastic little dinosaurs all over the house. And I love dinosaurs. I saw the first Jurassic Park movie, loved it, and that was enough for me. I haven't seen any of the sequels. I did see the first Chris Pratt Jurassic World. I thought it was good. It was fun. Great popcorn movie. I haven't seen any of the others since that one. And it's not that I don't like them. It's just that I don't know. There's just something missing for me. And so, Drew, you feel the same about Dominion?
Yes, very much so.
In your house, Sarah, what did people say about it?
So my 10-year-old loved it. He went and saw it with his friend, and it was all he could talk about for days. So I think in a certain age range, I think it was probably a phenomenal film because he just absolutely loved it. My husband said the first 30 minutes were the most boring opening to a movie he had seen, and then it picked up from there. So he was, and I've heard him talk about that constantly. It's all he says is, the opening of that movie was, so apparently it left an impression on him that, it was snoozeworthy until it took off. So
So Chris Vaglio is posting a bunch of comments. And so talking about toxic fandom, racism, it's rampant in the fandom, unfortunately, and it needs to be stamped out by all of us. Yes. And he is talking about Jurassic World Dominion, awful film, 2 thumbs down. The film was all over the place and boring. The best part of the film, he says, was the extended opening that was in the extended edition. Okay. So, Chris, Drew, do I need to see this movie?
No.
All right.
I would say watch the sequels of the original Jurassic Parks first. And then if you want to actually watch these movies just to catch up, then you can. But 2 and 3, again, the fight, there's a super mega dinosaur that they create out of science.
Yeah.
And then it goes against the T-Rex. What else do you need in your life? It's a battle. It's
King
like
Kong
you
versus
love
Godzilla.
Exactly.
That's what I
so
need.
you love kaiju. I understand you love kaiju, but think about if they took kaiju and put it into dinosaur life.
You know,
That's what it is.
Yeah. Which movie was that? I want to see that.
I think it's 3, but don't quote me. It's either 2 or 3, but it's definitely.
Chris says Jurassic Park 3 was better than
3.
the last film. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll check that out. And he says, yes, it was Jurassic Park 3. So I will check that one out. By the way, Snickerdoodle cookies from Matheson's, not only does it cereal, it cereals hard.
So update also does a cereal Reese's Pieces as it melts into the milk.
I can imagine. I can imagine. You know what? I'm going to run out and get some Reese's Pieces. I wanted to join you in this endeavor this week, Drew, and I just had no time to get to the store this week. So anyway, so between Jurassic World and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, we're going to give the win to Wakanda Forever. Yeah. So we've got Doctor Strange, Wakanda Forever. Number 5 on the list.
Somebody's writing this down.
Nobody's writing it down because, you know,
we're not being tested on it later, so why bother?
Yeah, the points don't matter. Anyway, Minions: The Rise of Gru. I did not see this movie. I hate Minions. I cannot stand the Minions. They irritate the fire out of me. And I think I just broke Sarah. Sarah, are you a lover of Minions?
Well, I mean, I think they're cute. I've never seen anything with a minion in it other than like just scrolling the internet. I know. It's on my list of things to eventually. I've heard the shorts are fantastic, but I've never seen the Despicable Me movies. My entire family has seen everything Minion and knows everything about Minions. I know nothing. I'm a Minion novice.
Willow, what say you about Minions?
I love them. I love them so much that I have quite a few stuffies of them and the fart gun.
So did you see Rise of Gru?
I think I may have missed that one, but I know my husband played a couple of their short like the shorts the other night, and it was actually kind of entertaining.
Drew, did you see Rise of Gru?
Of course I did, and I love Minions. I love them. I love them, Johnny.
Well, here's my problem. It feels to me like Rise of Gru was a movie that already happened several years ago.
Minion multiverse. You just gotta get into it, man. It's so much happening. There's the Minions. There's the first couple of movies, which is Despicable Me, which kind of follows the life of Gru being actually a villain, and then it goes into the 2 movies. Then you get into the before times of when the Minions, for the original Minions movie, it's like how the Minions came to be, and then this Minions Rise of Gru is part of the Minions prequel, which actually finds the Minions getting into Gru and attaching to him and becoming part of his evil, nefarious schemes. Minions. 2 thumbs up for Drew.
All right. So Minions: The Rise of Gru versus number 6 from Warner Brothers, the DC Universe, The Batman. What you're shaking your head, Sarah?
I have an opinion, and my opinion is that Christian Bale is the only Batman. And if Christian Bale is not playing Batman, I'm not going to watch it. I have he raised the bar and set a standard for Batman. And I'm a huge Batman fan, all the way back to Adam West and the old TV show. Okay. So Christian Bale just changed the game. That's my opinion. So.
Okay.
Drew's laughing at me.
Because he knows my opinion about Christian Bale Batman.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, John. But I'm also entitled to mine.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with you. A lot of people love Christian Bale. My favorite is Michael Keaton.
Well, he was the favorite before then.
Well,
it's like Michael Keaton was the Batman, and then Christian Bale came along, and I mean, wow. And the Nolan brothers, come on. Which Nolan did Batman? Was it Chris?
Christopher.
Yeah,
Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
So we're now going to talk about George Clooney.
Oh.
No, and Chris Vaglio says Michael Keaton was the best Bat. Bale was the best Bruce Wayne. I don't know that I agree with that, Chris. I think Val Kilmer was the best Bruce Wayne.
Ooh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
And that was
during
a very formative part of my life. Because what year did those come out with the Val Kilmer?
Well, Val Kilmer, that would have been 93, maybe?
No, 93.
Yeah, I was in middle school. I was 93. I was like 7th, 8th grade.
Because the first movie came out in 89. Then Batman Returns with Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman came out, I want to say, in 1990. Yeah. Those movies were so good, and they're so rewatchable. That's what makes them.
Chris O'Donnell as Robin. I mean, But I was a kid.
Did you have a heartthrob for Chris O'Donnell?
Yeah.
Drew did 95. Too. Okay. 95. 95 was
6.
Batman Returns or Batman Forever.
Yeah, that was 9th and 10th grade that year. So 95. There you go.
Chris Vaglio says he loved The Batman with Robert Pattinson as the Batman. And you didn't like it, Sarah? Did you see it?
I've not seen it, but Robert,
listen.
Who casted that? Who casted that?
Okay.
It was good.
I am willing to give him a chance and see what he can do because he's not.
Does he have glitter?
No, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
We have to allow actors to move past the flawed movies that they do in their past. Allow them to flourish.
Yeah, look, it's not his fault that he has been attached to one of the most ridiculed films of all time. Look, he was great in Tenet. If you saw the movie Tenet, he was phenomenal. He's a really skilled actor.
He is.
And as the Batman, he did a fantastic job. And for me,
I'll give it a chance.
Sarah,
I will give it a chance. I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down. Christian, I'm sorry. I'm going to watch this one, but so, all right.
Well, and
because if Kristen Stewart can come back and play Princess Diana, we can give Robert Pattinson a chance.
Yeah. Well,
I like him as an actor. He's done some really good things. I'm just really particular about Batman. It's a childhood favorite.
Well, and Chris Vaglio says, I really liked Pattinson's take on a young Batman. I was very surprised by his performance. I was too, Chris. I went into this movie very dubious. I went in because it's a comic book movie. It's, it's what I do. And I came out really enjoying it. And it was not a comic book movie. It was not a superhero movie. It was a crime investigation. It was a detective movie. Okay. It was a crime thriller. Ooh. And it was really, really well done. And I really loved it.
I'll report back to you. I'm going to watch it.
There's a chase scene. Who played the Penguin, Drew? That was I forget
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, you don't recognize him in the makeup. And they have a car chase scene that was unbelievably cool. It gives Fast and Furious and Popeye Doyle a run for its money.
It did.
All right,
It was weird.
I'm in for that one.
It was weird that they had this like, oh, it just happens to be a ramp right here. They had one of those moments like, oh, this happens to be a ramp right here that he can. But it was
every Hollywood chase scene,
yeah.
right? Willow, did you see the Batman with Robert Pattinson?
I haven't yet, and I have no idea what's holding me back. But I think I'm gonna watch it soon. I think I'll make my husband watch it tonight.
So I like this comment from Chris Vaglio. It was 7 meets Batman Year 2.
Ooh.
And that is a good assessment. That's a good
nice.
recap. Yeah, I think you'll be surprised at how good it is, Sarah. It's so
Okay,
well written.
Now I'm excited.
Really well acted. It's a shame that the DC Extended Universe isn't going to go in that direction more. If you guys haven't heard, spoiler alert, Chris Gunn has taken over the DC movie universe. Not Chris Gunn, James Gunn.
James Gunn. You hate him so much.
Well, no, I don't hate him. Ryan Permison hates him.
Oh, that's who it is. That's who it is.
I don't hate James Gunn. I don't enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't like those movies. I thought the Suicide Squad was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. And
superheroes movies should be serious and not have comedy in it.
No,
sorry,
I don't believe that. But I'm not a huge fan of his work. So, I'm not like super excited. But what he did say was that no.
Uh-oh.
Is he frozen?
Did we lose Johnny?
I think
what did he say? We want to know what he said.
Now the inmates from the asylum. Put up a card up there, Willow.
I got to him.
We're having technical difficulties.
Stand by. Buy me a coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod and donate so that Johnny can have better internet service.
Yikes. Broadband, Johnny, not dial up. He's using AOL right now. He'll be back.
It's nostalgia. That's the nostalgia bringing us into the,
But a little background on the Batman as we talk about that. So they're the titular villain in here is the Riddler, I believe, and it's a different spin on the Riddler, as some of you guys may have seen. The Riddler is usually a very jokingly jovial character, but this takes it into a very dark, kind of Law and Order SVU-esque kind of vibe to a Riddler. And you have to solve a crime. Like what Johnny was saying is 100% true. It really feels like a true crime drama type of movie instead of your traditional Batman quote unquote superhero movie. It was amazing from beginning to end as far as it's kind of like a whodunit, but you know who did it, but how he did it, and how is Batman going to go through all the steps he needs to take to actually find out who the person is. And we're kind of know who it is, but he doesn't know, so we're finding out who it is through his lens and eyes. And John Patterson, what's his name? Patterson. Robert Patterson. Here's a little Drew versus the World tidbit. I actually loved the Twilight movies. I'm going to say that. I'm going on mute.
I've watched them all more than once, so I will say that out loud.
I liked it. I like them.
My husband. Okay. My husband loves the Twilight movies. He'll watch them every time they're on TV or whatever. And
I'm a big vampire fan, but the Underworld series would be my favorite. But I did watch all of the Twilights. So
yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Hey.
So here's apparently what happened, guys. Our internet just quit. So I switched to the phone on mobile. So that is the weirdest thing. But I love StreamYard because it kept you guys in the stream, even though I got disconnected, and kept you going. And thank you, StreamYard, for being such a sturdy and stout platform. So unfortunately, Drew, I had my notes on my phone, which is now my camera. So I can't see what is next on the list. Does anybody else have it up?
Are we going through Mojo or are we going through Wikipedia?
Yeah, Box Office Mojo.
Okay.
Chris Vaglio says that it's a true detective film based on the Batman, and that's been the thing lacking on all of the other films. Batman is the world's greatest detective. And
That's true,
that's
yeah.
about StreamYard. That's why he uses it too.
So
Get paid nothing for that endorsement.
Are we going through which one is better, Rise of Gru or the Batman? I think the Batman wins in that one for me.
I'm going to say the Batman too.
Okay. Then number 7 up is your favorite, Johnny, Thor: Love and Thunder.
I loved this movie. Loved it. I've watched it 4 times. I loved it so much.
Okay.
Isn't Russell Crowe in that one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why I wanted to see it. It did look really cheesy, but when I saw that Russell Crowe was in it, I was on board. But I haven't seen it yet.
So it's fun. It's comical. It's a story about Thor and Jane Foster, told from the perspective of Korg, the rock monster companion to Thor. He's goofy and he gets facts confused and mixed up, and so he's the narrator of the story, and it is a love story between Thor and his hammer. I mean, Thor and Jane Foster, but it is super fast-paced, action-packed, tons of comedy. It's not a comedy movie, but there are some really great comedic. Listen, the screaming goats crack me up every single time, and I related it to eating a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. It's bright, colorful, fun. It's not deep. It's not going to change the world. It's not going to impact your life. But by golly, it's a lot of fun. And I loved Thor: Love and
Just
Thunder.
like Fruity Pebbles, I didn't like it. Just like Fruity Pebbles, I don't
How
like
can
it.
you not like Fruity Pebbles? What is the matter with you, Drew? I don't think
A lot
you
of
can be
things.
a host on the show anymore.
I like that's one of the Fruity Pebbles and Fruit Loops are one of the things that kids love that I never liked ever. I hate Fruit Loops. I hate Fruity Pebbles. I'd rather have Apple Jacks than Fruity.
Oh,
Fruit
Apple
Loops.
Jacks!
Yes.
Apple Jacks is great though. There's
Yeah.
no disrespect for Apple Jacks.
But to your point of this movie, it was very fun. And you know, I love a good comedy meets superhero movie. I think they went the wrong way with Thor. Thor to me always been about the Norse mythology, and they've skipped away from that so much in these last couple of movies that I'm kind of the end of it, they're like blending all these worlds together. They're like, okay, here's the Norse mythology, here's the Greek mythology. I'm like, okay, I'm here for it because I love all those different types of mythologies and theologies and whatever we're going to do. But it just wasn't a Thor movie for me. And I did not really enjoy that aspect of it. I came there for Thor movie, and I'm like, okay, I understand Hemsworth wants to be a little bit more comedic. They want to add a little bit more like Spider-Man-esque kind of vibes there, or Ant-Man-esque, but that's not him. He needs to be more like.
Well,
I don't
okay.
know.
So Willow or Sarah, have either of you seen Thor: Love and Thunder?
Nope, not yet.
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna give away some spoilers here. And by the way, Willow, I'm putting you in charge of comments because I can't
Oh, okay.
work it on my phone. So here's the thing about Thor: Love and Thunder and Thor in general. If they did a true to mythology Thor, you would hate him. He is not a likable character. Even the comic book version of the character is not very likable. He's arrogant. He's overpowered. You know, he knows he's a god and he acts like one. And I don't like that. This Thor starts that way in the first Thor movie, and there's this character arc throughout the entire MCU. And I dare say that Thor is the center point of the entire MCU, not Iron Man, because he has the broadest, most dramatic character arc from arrogant, unlikable to very human, very relatable. His whole arc through Infinity War and Endgame was, to me, the most relatable character arc of all of the characters. You know, failing so profoundly and sinking into deep depression, and just dealing with imposter syndrome and self-loathing and doubt. And then for this movie to see his return to somewhat of his old self, but with new perspective, was just, from a character arc, was so good to me. And it was just so fun. And I like that Thor is a fun character. I'm a big fan of the MCU Thor, and maybe he's my favorite MCU character. Yeah.
Chris agrees with you.
Yeah.
He mentions the goat gag and the hammer creeping into scenes is genius.
Yeah. And a lot of fans out there feel like Taika Waititi failed. There's this section of toxic fandom that claims that Thor: Love and Thunder was a failure. But when you look at the box office, it's number 6 for the entire year. It's the highest grossing of the Thor franchise. And surprise of all surprises, it was higher grossing than Spider-Man No Way Home, which most fans of the MCU consider the masterpiece of the MCU. And Drew dropped out just in time for us. Did you catch that, Drew? That
Yes,
Thor:
I
Love and
did.
Thunder outgrossed Spider-Man No Way Home. And I know that had to come as a surprise to you. It came to as a surprise to me. It's okay. He can be a guest on the show.
Oh,
Sorry, he's doing dad things. But he also saw Spider-Man No Way Home. He hated it. But anyway, as far as me is concerned, I am concerned, I love that movie, and that's our next movie after
Right.
And me and Johnny had a back and forth about what was going to happen, and he thought it was fan service about what happened in that movie. But all in all, it was such a homage to all the other Spider-Mans that I really enjoyed, and it really introduced us to the Spider-Verse, which you're going to get in multiple movies. So we're going to get in the MCU, and we're also going to get in the Into the Spider-Verse, the version, I think the second movie coming in. But I love this movie. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I love Andrew Garfield as the Amazing Spider-Man, and I love Tobey Maguire as, is he just the
OG
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, is he just the Spider-Man? Because it kind of attaches to the books, right? But
yeah. I mean, the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies were pretty loyal adaptations of the comic books. Now, Willow, Sarah, did either of you see No Way Home?
I think I've seen parts of it. I haven't watched the entire thing.
Willow, you're
I am
striking out
really bad
100%
this year
on
when it comes to movies.
top 10.
Yeah, no, I should be more. I think I sat in front of my streaming services too much this year. So,
Well, so after No Way Home, let's take a quick divergence into streaming movies. So, because they're not on the box office listing, and there were a lot of good ones, and we're, oh my God, we're out of time. We should have done a 2-hour episode on this, but I'm just gonna say Spider-Man No Way Home for me was the worst movie of the MCU, my least favorite of 2022, and here's why. I do think.
Oh no, you told Drew.
I did think it was just lazy storytelling because it was all nostalgic fan service. I would use other words. I did not like it at all. And the more I think about it, the more angry about it I get.
Chris is offering to come on if we do a part 2
Okay.
of this episode.
Wow.
Rafael de Furia, who has a great video podcast, by the way. Just do a search for his name on YouTube. He says, you're ending the episode just now that I'm getting here. How are you going to do me like that? I'm sorry, Raf, but yeah, we're already in an hour. I can't believe it. And we haven't even talked about any of the streaming movies. So
there's a couple
Day
others
Shift.
that hit the box office that were great too. So we'll have to
yeah,
look
I mean,
at
there's
it.
a bunch that we didn't get to talk about. I loved Lightyear. I thought
Lightyear was great.
League
Lightyear
of
was a
Super
cute
Pets
movie.
was the best DC movie ever made.
Here's 2 cents to that. My daughter and her godfather took her to see the Super Pets, and they both hated it. So that's just a 6-year-old and a 33-year-old's opinion.
I loved it. I thought Super Pets was how you do a DC comic book movie the right way. But so Willow, did you see Day Shift with Jamie Foxx,
No.
the vampire movie? No, that was a streaming movie, Netflix original.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
I'll watch it now.
Jamie Foxx can do no wrong. Jamie Foxx can do no wrong.
It was a good movie. It was.
I will
like,
say that I did try watching Morbius and I fell asleep.
I loved Morbius. It didn't even make the top 20, but I loved it. Chris Baglio
Then again,
says
I was
Day Shift
suffering
was
through a
fun.
migraine, so.
What else was out on streaming? The Adam Project was amazing.
That is a good movie. That is very
That
good.
movie might be the best live direct to streaming movie I've seen this year.
Guess who's in it?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan, yeah, your man crush.
Everyone's man crush.
I will say that of the streaming films, I loved Disenchanted, the sequel to Enchanted on Disney Plus. Loved it. Sarah, have you seen it?
I have not. I don't think we needed a sequel, but
We didn't need one.
It's good.
No one saw it coming, but it was so much fun. It was so good. So good.
okay.
If you like the original, you'll definitely like that one. It's
Yes.
fun.
Okay.
It's a fun romp, as they say.
Hocus Pocus 2 we got this year,
Yes.
which was okay. It was fun. It wasn't,
It wasn't the original.
which is why I liked it.
Oh, you didn't like the original. I remember that.
Yeah.
Top Gun and Hocus Pocus. I'm not sure we can be friends, John. Oh,
But has anyone seen Troll? Chris Baglio mentions it. Troll on Netflix. Came out a couple of weeks ago. Great movie.
Okay.
it was okay.
Well, so it's like Norway's version of a Godzilla movie. It's basically Godzilla and King Kong have a baby in Norway. And the whole movie is about how the Norwegian government, kind of like the Japanese government in the original Godzilla movies and Shin Godzilla, are paralyzed. And they only react out of fear and out of no desire to learn or to gain knowledge or to, do the right thing. They're afraid of what this thing is and they want to destroy it. And
The death scene at the end was kind of heartbreaking. That was very emotional.
yeah, it was. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I
I didn't say what, I just said that it was vague. That was vague. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And it was frustrating, wasn't it, Sarah? Because you're watching these people react to this creature that is just really doing no harm, trying to get back to his home.
Well, isn't that just kind of how humanity as a whole, that like throughout history, fear and ignorance is often how we react to things.
Perfect example of a movie. Don't Look Up.
Yeah. Don't Look Up. That came out this year.
Good. Very good. I loved it.
That was
Jonah
right-
Hill in that movie was freaking hilarious. He was so funny in that movie.
But so anyway, finish your thought about Troll, Sarah. I'm sorry. You got
Oh,
interrupted there.
no, I was just saying that, yeah, I mean, I think fear is kind of a reactionary thing that we tend to run off of sometimes, and it clouds our judgment and it clouds our logic and our reasoning abilities. And so, yeah, I think it was probably spot on for how people would behave. If there's something you don't understand and it seems big and scary, your first reaction is, we've got to destroy it, instead of let's take the time to get to know it and understand it better, you know? So
Yeah.
it was good in that way.
Now,
to get that out.
did Army of the Dead come out this year? Was that 2022 on Netflix? Anyone? Anyone?
Hang on.
I believe that was last year.
Okay. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
trying to think what else came out on streaming, direct to streaming, that was really outstanding. Without my notes, I don't know.
Stew in the box office, or was that streaming?
What was that?
Father Stew? Was that in the box office?
I've not even heard of this movie.
Oh, that was the one with Wahlberg, right?
Yeah, I didn't finish watching it. I fell asleep. But I can't give I don't know much about it. I know it was interesting to see him play a role like this, based on a true story. So I don't know.
I did not see that movie. Now, the latest movie I've seen was I did watch Everything Everywhere All at Once this week. I did not see it in the theater. I saw it at home, which I hate watching movies at home, because at home, this is what I get. Hey, what's going on? Turn down the heat. And you know, I hate watching movies at home. So if I watch a movie at home, I have to watch it with subtitles, because otherwise I don't hear a dang thing that's happening on the screen. But have you guys seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, but
I have to. I'm really bad this year at wow. I need to watch a lot of these movies.
Well, we're gonna pull your geek card. It was a multiversal movie, and much like The Green Knight from last year, I can't decide whether I love it or not, but I can't stop thinking about it. And Chris Vaglio just said that he loved Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I love that film. It was really, like you said, fun, and it's like an earworm just sticks in my brain and eats away at it over and over again.
And Chris says it's the best multiverse film I've seen. And you know, here's my question for those of you who saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. Did the story really happen, or is it all happening in her head as a coping mechanism for the trauma that she's trying to overcome in her life?
Ooh.
Wow.
It's kind of like Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch was so good.
This is a Jacob's Ladder scenario. I don't know if you guys get that reference.
I'm definitely watching that one.
Willow, we have a lot of homework to do. Do you have your list? I have a list now. I have all this stuff I have to watch.
Well, Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once was phenomenal. She's one of my favorite Hollywood stars.
She threatened to walk away from that film if they didn't switch the character's name on her.
What's that?
She threatened to walk away from that film if the directors didn't change the name for her character.
Really?
At least that's what I read on maybe clickbaity, but
here's the big, the funnest takeaway from that movie. Short Round returns to Hollywood. You remember Data from The Goonies and Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. The actor returns in Everything Everywhere All at Once and was phenomenal. The kung fu fight scene with him, unbelievably good. Shades of Jackie Chan, so good. Okay, I'm gonna say that I love this movie. Now that I've had a chance to verbalize it, I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Chris says he was good in it.
Yeah.
And the Jacob's Ladder was genius.
Gotta watch that movie. It's a quintessential movie watch.
I'm gonna have to. I've not seen that one, so I'm gonna have to go watch that. So, Drew, out of the few films that we've been able to touch on the top 20,
What were they?
huh?
No, go ahead. What were they, Johnny?
We were
I'm
talking.
not gonna
movies?
recap that because I don't have my notes. But for you, were any of those the best movie you saw this year?
I'm biased. I don't want to use my bias, but I'm biased to Spider-Man: No Way Home. Like,
That's okay.
That's my bias.
If that was your favorite movie this year, that is your favorite movie. Willow, what was, in your opinion, the best movie you've seen this year?
You know what? It's funny because I just watched a movie, a zombie movie on Netflix the other day, which was really good. But Top Gun Maverick is really good as far as the ones that were released. And as far as streaming shows, I will have to say that Stranger Things beats out Wednesday.
I can see that. We're not going to talk about TV shows right now. We're out of time. But maybe we do a TV recap next week. Sarah, what was your favorite movie released this year?
Can I name two? And we didn't talk about them yet.
Yes.
Okay, Uncharted and Halloween Ends.
Wait.
But I'm like,
you
Willow,
did not
I
just say
out.
that Uncharted was one of your favorite movies of this year.
I loved it.
What?
It was great.
What?
Okay. I think the problem is, Johnny, me and you know about the video game Uncharted, and
no, I really don't. I know that it was a video game. I know that my son was obsessed with it and addicted to it. I tried to watch the movie. I really did.
I've never played the game, so I mean, here's the
well,
thing.
neither have I.
I had to take my son to do something. Okay, there's a long story, so I won't bore you with it. But like, there was we couldn't go to the thing we were going to go to, and it was like, we were out of town, we were on vacation. It was like, what do we do? I was like, let's go to the movies. What's playing? This looks like it would be somewhat child friendly and okay to see. Okay, let's go watch it, and we loved it. And it was a fun mother-son, day. And I thought it was adventurous, and I thought it was exciting, and I don't know.
All right, so
I'm sorry
for you, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to finish it. I made it 20 minutes in.
I've watched it twice now.
Turn it off.
I've watched it twice, so it's good. It's good.
I couldn't with Uncharted. I thought it looked fun. It looked great, but the first 20 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I was just like,
Sarah, it's okay to love Uncharted. Okay, it's okay.
I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
We saw it, me and my husband. We saw it in theaters. We were expecting a little bit more from it, but
so Willow did see a movie this year in the theaters besides Top Gun.
We saw the same one. But I do have to put in really quick that as a horror film fan and a horror author, Halloween Ends, I thought really was way better than I thought it would be. And I thought that it did the franchise justice, and it was a really good closeout to that storyline. So I have to throw that in there. So,
all right. So,
I know what that
Chris
means.
Baglio says Halloween Ends was better than Halloween Kills. Should have been 2 films. All right.
should have only been. Yeah.
Hey, you know a movie that we didn't talk about that went straight to streaming and did not get a theatrical release like it was promised to was The Munsters. And I am a huge fan of The Munsters. I watched the Rob Zombie movie, and it was, oh, that's not good. Hold on.
We're getting double vision.
Ta-da! So I loved Rob Zombie's Munsters because I love the original Munsters. The Munsters was so bad, it was brilliant. It had no editor, as Chris Baglio points out. It needed editing because basically you can tell Rob Zombie was so upset with the studio over the restrictions that they gave him that he basically flipped them off and said, okay, here's the movie. And everything he filmed was on the screen. He didn't edit anything, and it shows.
Wow.
but it was still fun. And it was very, it would have been, as Chris Vaglio points out, a home run with an actual editor. I agree.
Would it have, Johnny?
No, it would have been. I think if we campaign for the Rob Zombie cut or the edited version, we'll have a great movie.
Bring back the Mustard's cut.
Yeah, and Chris Vaglio says the oversaturated color was the FU to the studio. Yeah, because he wanted it to be in black and white. It would have been a much better movie in black and white. So anyway, but my favorite of the year, I'm gonna have to go with Thor: Love and Thunder. That was my favorite. I've seen it 4 times this year. No other movie I've watched as much. So, yep. And we could talk about this for hours, but I have a rehearsal to get to. I am singing in a Christmas concert tomorrow, and I'm already dressed, ready to go. So I'm going to hop off here, and we're going to bolt to our 10 o'clock rehearsal. Drew, tell people where they can follow, find, and support you.
You can go to drewversustheworld.com and listen to my new episode with John Pyka, out right now. John Pyka, he tells a story that he won't tell on this show because he's bound to just tell it on my show.
That's right. That's right.
Whoa.
I spilled some tea. Let's just put it that way. But I did not reveal any names, did I, Drew?
Nope. Only the one that you came out of.
That's coming soon in a bookstore near you. Willow, tell people where they can follow and find you.
You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Awesome. Sarah, where can people find you and your awesome Coffee and Words podcast? I got it right twice today.
I'm so proud of you, John. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Yes, you can find me on Instagram at author Sarah Jenkins, Facebook author Sarah Jenkins, YouTube Coffee and Words, and my website authorsarahjenkins.com.
Fantastic. You guys can find me at johnpyka.com. And here on Back of the Cereal Box this week, we didn't get to it this week, but this is my birthday week. I've got a huge loot haul. And this week on some supplemental episodes, I'm going to be doing a review of the board game Monstrosity. So good. Spoiler alert, it's so good. So with that, we're going to leave you guys. Thank you guys so much. And as Chris Vaglio comments, drewversustheworld.com, it's in his cryon right there. Yeah. Check that out. And check out Coffee and Words with author Sarah Jenkins. It's awesome. And Willow has promised that there's a new podcast coming to the Cereal Box Network soon.
I'm working on it. I want to after the new year, I will definitely focus more on it.
All right. Excellent. So we got to leave you guys, but before we leave, I want to just thank our super fans, our supporters at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod, Sharice Collins, Cindy Kep, Brian Huff, Dave Manginelli, Dave Mattingly, Crystal Raven Jones, and Eli Cash. And you guys, you can have your name in lights too. Become a supporter at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. That will help us continue to make the show better, go upward and onward. And if you hate the show, donate even more generously to help us be the best we can be just for you. And with that, we're going to say goodbye. Follow, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things. And until the next time, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box. Mwah.